Here on homecoming weekend, which is the Saluki Hall of Fame, one of the newest members of the Saluki Hall of Fame class is Korey Lindsey from Saluki football. Korey, welcome back. What's it like for you to be back here on campus and most importantly, to take part in this Hall of Fame ceremony?
I'm excited, man. Such a surreal moment, like I just mentioned. It's for my family, for myself, just to be recognized, and especially being at 35, rather than if I was 50. Just a time where I can have my mom and my close immediate family, my kids, to see something that was kind of before them kind of blossom and get to recognize, get my flowers and stuff for it. So I'm truly grateful for that.
When you go back through your decision-making process of wanting to come to SIU, what was it about SIU initially that drew you in to Coach Kill in the program?
Initially, I was completely unaware, just being from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, just unaware of all the Midwest schools. So I never really heard of it, but Coach Kill and Coach Jay Savell was some adamant recruiters, and they believed in what they believed in, and they came sell the product. They honestly did, and they came talking about a guy, Brandon Jacobs, who I had a opportunity to see on Friday Sports 9 in our region, so I knew who they were talking about, and once he let me know they had 4 or 5 guys from Louisiana up here, and he assured me that they were the best team on the next level, because around that time I was persistent on being an LSU guy. Just being an all-state Baton Rouge, Louisiana kid, we all thrived to go to LSU. And they just assured me that if I didn't go there, this is the place to be, and I would have some success. And I'm truly honored that I took those guys up on that recruiting offer.
Coach Hill took time this week to talk to his team about your career, and more so about he remembered when you got here, no promised role. You took whatever role you could, whether it was special teams, whatever, worked your way into, of course, being a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
What do you cherish most about the way your career progressed, Korey? Here?
I cherish the most of the process. And like Coach Hill may have mentioned, the process of truly going through the ranks, coming in, working to become a true freshman, and then also getting a chance to play every game as a true freshman and being on the biggest stage with Coach Nick Hill as a true freshman. That allowed me to just blossom into what I wanted my college experience to be. Because Coach Hill ensured that I play on the highest level. In my freshman year, I did that to play on the semifinals versus Joe Flacco here with ESPN on campus was ecstatic for me. And that just broadened my horizon. And I took each year to try to really get back to that level. And that drive from my freshman year was just something I just couldn't explain. And that work ethic and that grind and the camaraderie I built with these college teammates was just second to none, man.
I don't want to lead you down to answer this question specifically with how I'm going to frame it, but do you remember the games more or the locker rooms and the travel and the practices with the guys?
I would say the relationships and the camaraderie of your team. As we years down the road, you forget some plays, you may see them across them and then you remember them, but those relationships that's just still set in stone, to just having a lot of those teammates come back today, this weekend, for that just kind of just reevaluates the whole thing of what football is about. And it's about that brotherhood. So that was the most important, most special thing I took from coming to SIU.
Did you ever light Larry Warner up in practice?
No, Larry Warner's the only guy that can make our entire defense miss.
Even you?
Even me.
Oh, man, I was hoping you could at least say a little.
Me, I got to give my guys
Coach
flowers.
Warner.
He was always dynamic. He was the one, him and Deji Kareem was 2 guys that we could never just get a hand on in practice. Yeah.
I was reminding you as you walked in about Saluki's looking for some homecoming magic this weekend.
Yeah.
You had it in the first ever homecoming game at Saluki Stadium, an overtime win against Northern Iowa. You get the game-winning pass breakup in the game, but what just overall about that game, the overtime game, homecoming atmosphere, first one at Saluki Stadium, what remembers about that game specifically?
Northern Iowa was always a memorable moment during that time, because Northern Iowa and us were already the top of the division. Before NDSU kind of got their reign, it was always us and Northern Iowa. And it always came down to either who win the conference out of us or them. And I just remember in 2009, we ended up beating them there in their dome. And we came back, and my senior year, we got an opportunity to play them here, first time in the stadium. And I just recall them kind of staying away from me the whole night. And then they finally come to my way, game winner in overtime. And I just remember, like, not winning in here, not on me, not on that. So I kind of took it on the chin, just making sure I made that play for my team to give us a win and to beat Northern Iowa in back-to-back seasons, which we hadn't did in a while up to that point. So That was very memorable. It was on YouTube. My son watches it. He makes sure I see it every now and then. But I definitely remember that moment in Saluki Stadium, that first one beating Northern Iowa for homecoming.
We'll end on this note, Korey, for Saluki Nation, for still follow you, coach high school football. Give Saluki fans an update of what Korey Lindsey is up to these days.
Right now, I'm coaching high school football down in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm currently at Central High School as the co-defensive coordinator and defensive backs coach. My son's at the middle school, Central Middle. So right now, I'm just giving back. That's been my blessing. It's been my calling, giving all this game that I sponged up over the years through all these levels of just football that I kind of got layered in. And I'm just giving it back to the kids. I get full passion from that. And that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm content with that, just being a vessel to these kids that's traveling that same journey that I did. And hopefully I can reach one of them to, just take it further as I did.
Korey, thanks so much for the time. Welcome to the Hall of Fame.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Korey Lindsey, our next inductee into the class of 2024 for the Saluki Hall of Fame.